it's a cold day in here when you agree with Fox News, and the fact that they ran something today that said it's always a white male. No truer words have been spoken, because here we are with another stain on American history, another stain on American education. We have two children that are no longer here because what was the reason? They were at school where they're supposed to be forming friendships, they're supposed to be having lunch, they're supposed to be having friends, they're supposed to just be children, they're supposed to be learning, but yet they learned why our American education system is failing, the why, we can't get this part right. Because again, what was the reason? And the fact of the matter is that they are trying to normalize this shit is just astounding to me. But the other part of this is the fact that they are trying to now act like, we acknowledge trans people and the society doesn't. But what you will not do is attach trans people to this. If you're not going to speak of them, as a part of society, you do not get to try to use trans people as a scapegoat in this, because we are going to absolutely talk about this person as the administration would. He was a white male. But the other part of this is the fact of the matter of how journalists were with cameras and microphones in the faces of children. And I do not care that they may have gotten the permission of the parents, because, you can get in my comments and you can argue with your wide back ass, skinny, thin lipped ass mammy, because this shit was uncalled for. Where is the integrity of the journalist? Because you should not even want to talk to children. The fact of the matter is, if you have never suffered a tragedy, where you didn't think you were going to make it out of this, and, understanding that adrenaline that you feel, and the fact that these are children, and one of those little babies didn't look no more than maybe 7 or 8 years old, and you're over there with a camera and a microphone trying to ask them what happened. And here are people in the comments, oh, they articulate themselves well. Do you not understand what they're trying to do? They are trying to normalize this bullshit, because if the child can speak of the incident afterwards, then it maybe wasn't that bad. It was bad, but maybe it wasn't that bad. Do you not understand this? And again, I do not want to hear, oh, well, their parents said it was okay. Fuck them and that parents, because absolutely not. You leave the children alone. And the fact of the matter is, y'all do understand that some parents, get off on things like that, because now you're America's face to this tragedy. You're the one that's just like, oh, well, look how this child is still able to articulate themselves after the fact. So again, it's bad, but thoughts and prayers. We'll get through it. The shit has to stop. And the fact of the matter is, we cannot continuously allow children to be displayed in this manner to normalize the bullshit. Something has to be done, because again, Fox News saying it's always the white male. Where do we make changes? Where do we say that something else has to be done? Because you're not going to tell me that there were not signs. You're not going to tell me that just because these things were obtained legally, that there were not signs. And the fact of the matter is, his mama worked at the church, so always a religious white male. We'll go ahead and put that out there. Especially since we are now at an age where we're trying to force religion down the throats of children, and we see that the adults are not living by it. Because again, always a white male. But what are we going to do in changing this? And that we are not going to have more children led by trauma. We're not going to have more children that can say that, they have lived through one of these tragedies while they're at school. Because, hell, many of y'all don't even understand that something else happened at another school last week. We're not even a month into the school year. And you want to talk about, how education is supposed to shape and change children? Not in this way. And we are not supposed to normalize tragedy, and we're not supposed to normalize these things because, oh, the children are well spoken after the fact, so it's okay. They're not as damaged as, one would think. As I always say, America's not a real place, and we obviously do not care that once the child is out of the womb, forget protect the children.
Like and subscribe to Mom's channel.